What is up, guys? How's it going? So today we're going to be going into a video. It's a pretty simple video, but I think a lot of you guys need to hear this or at least try to internalize this. If you haven't realized by now, it doesn't really matter what strategy you trade. The thing that separates, someone that trades a strategy profitably, someone that trades a strategy unprofitably is their own market experience, their own, discretion, because what ends up happening, right? Someone with, multiple years of experience trading something is going to stay away from a loss that a newer person might take, okay? But here's where the issue can come in. If you take trading a bit too, mechanically, and you're really just not understanding your executions. What I mean by that is, like, whenever you're taking a trade, it's like, hey, like, it follows this kind of pattern that I'm looking for. So, like, it's fine that it lost. Again, nothing wrong with taking losses, but a lot of you guys don't truly internalize your losses and you don't improve off of them. Again, what I mean by this is whenever you lose a trade, it should be a reflection, okay? Did you do everything correctly, right? Why did it lose? Because every single time there's probably going to be a reason why a trade lost, and you can learn from it, right? The issue is a lot of people like to kind of forget about that. It's like, oh, no, like, let me just forget about that loss, and they don't improve, okay? That is not how this works. But I want to give you guys an example, and I want to jump into today because this, like, thing I was talking about, I'm going to show you, like, exactly, like, how it helps you improve. So we're going to go right here and look at today real quick. So let's go. Today, you can see price kind of opened up here, a little bit bullish, and we ended up flipping very aggressively, right, to the downside. And there was this low right here that there was to target, and a lot of people took, this trade right here because this is a trade that follows that continuation idea, right? It's not a bad trade, right? Boom, retrace, reaction, you have a target. A lot of people took this loss, okay? And I didn't. And the only reason is, let's go right here. When was this? 4 months ago. Let's look at this trade, okay? What happened? Same idea right here. You can see we are bullish higher time frame, right? Even though it's a bit more sloppy right here, you can see we are still overall trending bullish, right? You can look at the comparison. And what we end up doing is putting in, this strong kind of wick low. You can see we reject and we flip, right? Start making bullish structure. Same thing happens right here, right? You can see we put in a low, strong low, and we flip, right? Putting in this new low. And what can I see happens? Let me just go real quick. When I execute, you can see when price starts to get near to that low, same kind of pattern happens. What happens? Price starts chopping, it starts slowing down, and then the flip just does not end up playing out. And that is, like, exactly, like, I vividly remember that trade from 4 months ago. And, like, when I'm watching this, the exact same thing, it looks literally identical. It's like, okay, what is price doing? It starts slowing down. You can see more wicks. We're not really delivering. The lows right here, we're really struggling to take it, right? It's not like we are just absolutely blowing past and taking that. So I'm able to internalize and remember, like, specific losses. Like, this is one, like, I specifically remember, but, like, subconsciously, if you truly, like, reflect on every single trade that you take, it doesn't mean, I'm not telling you to beat yourself up over a loss. Because you can see right here, when I made this video, I'm pretty sure I said, like, okay, I'm not really mad about this loss. Like, it kind of followed my blueprint, or, like, whatever, like, the way I trade, okay? But even with that, I still, like, went and looked back, and it's like, okay, like, let me see, like, why we actually didn't take that low, right? And it's like, okay, it's kind of counter trend. We put in, like, a strong low, and then we flip, right? Same thing on here in the 5 minute. You can see we put in this kind of, like, strong wick low. We flip and we sell off, and price starts to very significantly slow down once we get close to that low. And then, you get, a lot of people get faked out by something like this, right? So again, a lot of people, I bet you, a lot of you guys watching this video, at least if you trade similar to me, you took this loss. And that is fine. That is completely fine. Same way I took that loss. But what should you do? you should remember this trade. You should actually internalize it. Don't like skip over it and just try to forget. And same with like any other losses that you take. Remember, like subconsciously and consciously, remember that trade. And that way, the next time the same thing comes up, that's a loss you avoided. Okay? That's kind of the point I'm trying to get at. Over time, you just avoid losses, right? You can have two traders, right? Trading the same exact way. Let's say they're both trading, a higher win rate strategy, right? Trading the exact same execution, okay? And one very experienced trader in a span of a month, right, maybe takes 15 trades, wins 13 or 12, loses 2 or 3. The same trader, the other trader, okay, takes 20 trades, okay, or 1. It doesn't matter. He wins, maybe 11 trades, right, but loses 9. I bet you a lot of those winning trades are the same in between the two traders. The only difference is the losing trades that the experienced trader did not take. Why? Just because of their experience. They've seen it, what pans out and what doesn't pan out. But again, the only way you develop that, mindset, the only way you develop that confidence is by truly like not having an ego, okay? When a loss comes, you don't get mad like, no way this lost. Like you get mad. No, you understand you're a student of the market. You understand that you're still going to lose. You understand that you're going to make mistakes, but it's what you do from those mistakes, right? Whether you just like try to forget about it and skip over it, what are you going to end up doing? You're going to make that same mistake again. But if you're like, okay, let me see why I lost. Let me see how I can improve. Next time that comes up, you're going to think like, bro, I literally remembered this. You know what I mean? Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, damn, I literally remember this shit. So that way, you're going to be able to kind of internalize that and slowly improve over time. That's why, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, if you do this, you're slowly going to get better and better and better, right? Just over time, because you're constantly going to be improving. A year from now, you get 365 more days of data, right? A bunch more trades, a bunch more losses that you're going to learn. Maybe the next year, you take 5 less losses, right? Or this. I'm just throwing out numbers, but you guys get the point, right? Same thing, even if you trade completely different than me. Maybe you trade, some crazy risk to reward, lower win rate. You can look at 2 traders and, maybe one, I don't know, like 5 out of 10 trades with like a crazy RR, but the other one won like 2 out of 10. Same thing applies here. Literally the same thing applies here, okay? So again, internalize your trades. You can journal, but make sure you don't just journal it and say, forget about it. No, just reflect on it. No hard emotions. Just understand always you are a student of the market. You don't deserve to win any trade. You are just executing to the best of your personal ability, which obviously can be wrong, and you have to understand that, and then you learn from that. But yeah, that's what I wanted to go over. Again, pretty simple. I'm not saying something crazy, but it's something that a lot of you guys need to hear and try your best to internalize, because that is how, 6 months from now, you're going to have a significant improvement in your trading. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I will catch you guys in the next video.